Hi folks, Buckley here. In this week's lab we're going to be focusing on using CAD as a design tool. Not that we haven't been doing that in the past, but this week in particular we're going to use CAD to actually modify designs and make designs work. We're going to be using it as input instead of just a way to document or to manufacture in 3D using digital manufacture. So your lab and your assignment are going to focus on this really fun toy, which you guys get to play with. This is a rubber band shooter. So it's a system here that consists of a body, right, a barrel. This one here we are calling the pawl or the trigger, and this guy here we're calling the chamber or the ratchet. The mechanism that is used here to advance, so what happens is you load the rubber bands over the back of this barrel here, and you stretch them over the front, and you're going to squeeze the trigger. This is going to pivot forward, and it's going to launch the rubber band off of the front. So hopefully you're going to get to handle one of these really soon if you're not handling it as we speak, and you can kind of see how this is going to work. And you can load up multiple rubber bands and shoot them off all at once, which is really fun. So let's first kind of go through what this looks like, and I want to focus in particular on what I'm going to ask you to do as part of this assignment and what we're going to learn in lab now and then as you work through the assignment. So let's take a look at the internal mechanisms here, and we've done this before. So we're going to use a section view. We did this on a prior lab where you guys were making a little cam mechanism, but this is a section view. I can kind of work my way through and see what this looks like. If I hit OK, it's going to come up like this, and it'll come back and disappear as needed, right? Section view. But you can see the way that this is going to work is it's got, again, the body, the barrel, the chamber or the ratchet, and the trigger or the pawl, and this is all one molded piece, right? So this guy is going to spin. This is a catch here. This type of mechanism is called a ratchet and pawl mechanism, with this being the ratchet, this being the pawl. It kind of catch and releases. This works by deflecting, so this piece here is actually going to deflect as you pull back the trigger, which pulls this back and releases one turn of the gun. And this catch down at the bottom is going to catch the bottom side. So I want you guys to really look at how these things work. I've included a lot of physical examples up in the matrix, ones that are intact and then ones where I've actually cut away a portion of the physical rubber band shooter so you can see these internal mechanisms. What I'm asking you to do is basically to create an assembly, okay? So you are going to be given, because these parts are a little complex, I went ahead and made them for you. So I'm going to give you the solid models of the ratchet and the pawl mechanism. You're going to get those. I am not going to give you the body, nor the barrel, nor these pins. There's several pins that are in here to make this work. You have to make those. You're going to reverse engineer them from the provided rubber band shooters that I'm giving you in the matrix. So actually take out the calipers and come up with a design that works, okay? These guys are given. I'm also giving you the engineering drawing that goes with the ratchet. I went ahead and did a full drawing for this, and I'm asking you to create the drawings for all the other parts, pull together the assembly, do exploded assemblies, and basically create a fully documented drawing packet for everything else in this drawing. Okay, and this is really going to push our limits in terms of how we do assemblies and also how we document those assemblies and our parts. So let me just pull up the drawing that I'm providing for you for the ratchet. That's going to look like this. Okay, so this is a pretty complex part, right? It looks simple when you look at it, but then if you go to really want to specify how this is manufactured, there's a lot going on. So we've got some circular replication features happening here. We've got some circles, some bolt circles, some hole circles. We have an interesting set of thicknesses here, right? And then there's a lot of detail right here on each of these little teeth. And we've done what's called a detailed view. So I'm going to show you right now how to do a couple things. I'd like to start with these special views that I'm using on this part drawing. So Again, I've given you this one. You have to do a similarly detailed drawing for this piece right here, which is the pawl, right, or the trigger. Okay, so let's take a look at how we would create this detailed drawing like this, some of these elements. Okay, a lot of this you already know how to do, right? So you know how to put these types of dimensions on, put notes, right? But let's now talk about some of the things you haven't seen, like this detailed view and this section view. So let me go ahead and I'm going to open up the drawing. So this is, you have this will be given to you. You can use it directly in your assembly. You have a similar one for the pawl or the trigger. I'm now going to go to drawing space. So I'm going to make a drawing. I'm going to use the standard UD title block. You can do everything in inches here, folks. Okay. You just start by pulling in a front view, and that looks like it's decently sized, so I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, what I want at this point, if I were to go ahead and pull a top view, you can kind of see what it's looking like there. There's a lot of detail there I don't need with those teeth, right? So that's not a very helpful view. What would be a more helpful view here to communicate to my machinist is what this looks like if I just slice directly through, right? So we're going to do what's called a section view for that. So we're on the View Layout tab. Okay? So if I go Section View, I've got a choice. So I can place this. This is actually going to slice through. And I can do it horizontal or vertical. I'm just going to go horizontal because that's going to give me something that approaches a top view. And I'm going to click OK. And you see it makes these lines. So it makes these lines here, labels it A. That's for section view A. And it's going to plunk this down. And that's a much, much cleaner view, right? I can really get my thicknesses here. I see the holes much more clearly when I take that view as opposed to just pulling a top view. Okay, so that's something called a section view. The next thing I want to focus on is actually detail view. So detail view is what I'm going to use to zoom in on these features here around this tooth, which is super detailed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on detailed view. It now asks me where do I want to center my detail. You can really pick any of these teeth, but let me go ahead and just, I'm going to zoom in a little bit and center it right there. It's then going to draw a circle. So I'm going to go around in a circle like so. And then I'm going to pull it out. This is that view, detailed view B, scale is 2:1. If I want it to be even bigger in order to clarify, whoops, my idea here, whoops, and I think I changed that view size. I'm going to go ahead and change my view. There it is in 1:1. There it is in 1 to, whoops, I'm going the wrong way. 4:1. 4x size, that's nice and big, so that might be a little overkill. But you see, I definitely get these features that would be hard to describe off of this view, right? This little nub here would be super difficult. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you in terms of these auxiliary views. These are all called auxiliary views on drawings. They're very, very helpful when you have really detailed parts like this. Again, we're trying to clearly communicate with our machinist, right? Okay, so that is that. I now want to show you one more view that is super helpful on assemblies. Okay, so here, this is an assembly of the rubber band shooter. Again, what I gave you is this and this. I am not giving you the body, I'm not giving you the pins, and I'm not giving you the barrel. So you have to go ahead and make those and pull them all together in an assembly so that it would function. I am going to show you how to do a view of special assembly view. So as it stands right now, right, it's really hard to see what's happening inside of this shooter, right? I can't see these internal mechanisms. So, and an exploded view will allow me to pull these out, but it won't show how it's fitting within the chamber here. So it would be nice if I could just kind of remove a window, right? If I could see a window into this design. So let me show you how to do that. You're going to go to, you're going to make a drawing. Okay, so these views are available on Drawing Space. Again, they're auxiliary views. I'm going to load the UD title block. And then let me just pull in a front view. And I'm going to go ahead and blow that up a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bigger. super big. Okay. Again, might be a little overkill, but I just want to show this view to you. What we're now going to do is something called a broken out section view. So this allows you to control the depth. It allows you to control pretty much everything about how you're cutting into the part. So if I do broken out section view, broken out section view, the first thing happens is I get a drawing tool here on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and this is sort of the window that I'm going to cut. And it doesn't completely matter, I just need to make a closed loop. Okay, that's my loop. Now I'm going to set the depth. Okay, so I've made the view, I'm going to set the depth. And there it is, I've cut out 0.1. You can see it's not really cutting through the part when I do that. So I'm going to go into my view. Broken out section view is going to show up under drawing views. I'm going to edit the definition, and I'm going to take this up to 0.3 and see what happens there. Okay, so it's cut away this window. I can really see clearly these internal parts, right? So this is a nice assembly type view. It may be an auxiliary view. So one thing when you have more complicated designs, you may need to expand the number of pages that are in your drawing packet. So far, our designs have been fairly straightforward, and I've said, please give me an assembly, an exploded assembly, and then each of the parts in order. As your parts in your assemblies get more complex, you may need 3 or 4 assembly drawings to communicate how this thing goes together. And for individual parts that are complicated, like the ratchet and pawl, you may need 2 drawings for that part. So don't be afraid to do that. Okay, that was the last thing I wanted to show you, which is this broken out section view. I would like to see something like this included in your drawing packet. As these designs get more complicated, folks, we recognize that your drawing packets are not going to be perfect. In fact, a professional engineer would not even, a PE would not even be able to generate professional or perfect drawings the first time around with these. So do the best you can. Remember, we're trying to, and we will be grading you on how clear these drawings are, that you're not missing any major details, okay? But we don't expect perfection first time around. This is also a good opportunity for you to check in with a peer and check in with the TAs that you've documented these more complicated parts enough. This will be the most complicated part that you will generate in MEEG102. So best of luck to you guys. Have fun with the rubber band shooters. Please, please don't take them home. Please keep them in the design studio so everybody can use them and look at them and work on their drawings off of them. All right, guys, thanks a bunch.